I believe that is very important to declutter as we reset, because this is a reset. So you're resetting your mindset, and how will you do that if you're still holding on to things of the past? Hello and welcome to Blooming with Georgia, the sit down. Now this is a new addition to my Blooming with Georgia docu-series, but in this segment we're going to be talking all things faith growth, personal development, and your overall well-being. So if those are the topics that you are interested in, be sure to click that subscribe button and join our beautiful families of Bloomies. Now, as you saw by the title, we're going to be talking mid-year reset. All right, so I feel that it's very important to have this mid-year reset as we're halfway through the year. So it's very important to be in position and to be pursuing our goals and analyzing the goals that we started the year with, right? And if we don't have ones, or we've come across new ones along the way, how do we manage them, and how does that affect also our personal growth into who we want to be by the end of the year, which is why I'm doing this video. So stick around, and I'll be sharing some personal tips that I myself have been using or are currently using and will in the future use. And these tips, I believe myself that they are very, very, important, and that they will work for you. So without further ado, let's get into the first tip. Now, the first tip might sound so cliche that everyone does it. But trust me, not everyone does it, and not everyone does it for the reason why I'm saying that you should do it. So the first one is deep clean your space. All right, so I believe that this is very important, because the environment that you're in represents or reflects the environment in your mind, right? So guys, this has been actually scientifically proven. So you need to be in a clean space, right? You need to be in a space where all your things are put together, are put in order, your space is clean. Because trust me, and we all know this, if your environment, your room or your house is untidy, that affects your mindset. Already you're so agitated, you're easily irritable, and you can't really focus on something for a long time because you're worried that this is there, that is there, because it's untidy, everything is a mess, right? So you need to keep your environment clean. So now this is the first tip before we go anywhere else, which leads me to my second tip, which is to reset your mind, right? Because the same way that clutter can be in our external environment, it can also be in your internal environment, right? So which is why I'm saying that you should reset your mind. And you're probably wondering, how do I do that? By journaling. If you know me, and you've known me or have been following me for a while, you know that I am a big advocate for journaling. I myself have been journaling religiously from the beginning of this year, and so far so good. I've been consistent with it, right? So I just started, just start, and eventually as you go, it will become sort of like a ritual. You will be used to doing it, right? Because it's just as easy. You literally typing or writing the things that are in your mind, right? So you don't have to go anywhere else. You just need to use your mind and journal all your thoughts, journal the things that are worrying you. And I'd suggest that you start, if you haven't been doing it, to start from Jan up until now, right? So what are the things that have been worrying you? What are the things that are weighing heavily in your mind? Be it maybe you've went through some trauma, you've faced some things, you've lost some things, or you got distracted along the year, or the people that are in your life, or just your mental health as a whole is not okay. There are things that have been worrying you, right? So I believe that is very important to declutter as we reset, because this is a reset. So you're resetting your mindset, and how will you do that if you're still holding on to things of the past, right? Or if you're holding on to things only in your mind and you're not releasing them somewhere, right? Because I believe this, and this might, some people don't understand this, but journaling really helps. You know, it's like you're talking to someone, because sometimes we're not as comfortable from, you know, off the bat, that if something is troubling you, that you talk to somebody about it immediately. And sorry, you'll have to excuse the background sounds. You know, yeah, it's quite busy at this time, so the road is, you know, yeah. But anyways, we're not really, you know, some of us, we can't really off the bat tell people what we're going through. If you're going through stuff in your life that are troubling you, you know, we're not, you know, easily just like vulnerable with others and just open up off the bat, or when that happens, right? Which is where journaling comes in. Now you're able to talk to yourself, or now, you know, write on your book, or write on, you know, your notes, where you know that no one is gonna be seeing it, but at the same time you did take it out of your mind. So that's part of the reset. You need to declutter your mind, right? And journaling, trust me, is the only way that I'd suggest, and that is going to be successful. So with the mental reset, I know that journaling sometimes is very hard, especially if it's your first time doing it, or you've tried before and failed. So I'm gonna give you guys, you know, the promptings that I use personally for my journaling, right? So the first one is that at the top I always have a title of, you know, my day, how it went. Let's say it was a stressful day, I'll be like stressful day, and then underneath I write what I'm grateful for. So I'll write the things that I'm grateful for, and then now is the negatives about my day, and now it's the things that are out of my control, the negatives that are out of my control. This and that happened, and those things that are out of your control, the only thing that you can do about them is to put them into God's hands, because there's nothing you can do about it. And then underneath I talk about the negatives of the day, but the ones that are in my control, that I deemed it so. I became lazy, so I wasn't able to finish and submit my assignment. I woke up late, so I showed up late for my meeting at work. Whatever it is, right? So the things that are in your control, that if you did better, or you did it differently, then you wouldn't be feeling bad, or it wouldn't have turned out in a bad way, right? So it's title, what you're grateful for, the negatives that are out of your control, the negatives that are in your control, and now you write what you could have done differently, right? I wish I woke up earlier. I wish I talked nicer to that person. I wish whatever, right? And now you're gonna take that into your next day. So you're gonna look back on your journal and be like, okay, today I said I want to wake up earlier. So already your mind is set in that, you know, mode that I'm gonna wake up earlier, I'm gonna be nicer, I'm gonna be this and that. And trust me, these things are not gonna happen overnight. It is, you know, a work in progress. So don't get annoyed or discouraged if you're not, you know, consistent with it, or if you do not, you know, do as you said you will, right? And this is also something to pray about. So do that, and yeah, just, you know, write everything down and pace yourself daily, and you will get to where you want to. Okay, so the third one is move your body. Right? And I know that you're thinking that ma'am, I move my body literally every second. I'm not talking about that, guys. I'm really talking about like having workouts, having daily walks, having a run, join a gym if you are able to, do home workouts if you're able to, but you really need to be intentional with it, not just walk into the store to get something. That is like, you know, an obligation, because obviously you can't fly to the store, right? But I'm talking intentionally moving your body, intentionally getting that workout in, because when you're physically fit, then trust me, you will be mentally fit. Because just as I said about journaling, exercising and moving your body does the same. It clears your mind. It literally does. I'm talking from experience. It clears your mind. It makes you process things better. Let's say you're worrying about something and you've been worried about it, since last night, and today in the morning you decide to wake up and go for a run. Trust me, you're gonna come back feeling way more energized, and now your thought process or how you're going to deal with this thing, now you can approach it at a much different and better approach, other than when you're just sitting and dwelling on something over and over again, right? Which also leads me to the point that I want to make about moving your body, is that most of us, and people my age, in like our early 20s, we're literally always tired. We're so lazy, and that is not good. That is not good, because where are we gonna go? Imagine a generation that is lazy. Imagine that's just horrible, right? So moving your body, also, the more you move your body, the less fatigued and lazy and sluggish you will feel, right? Because your body is used to movement. It's used to running, walking, jumping, skipping, dancing, whatever method that you want to use of exercise, get that exercise in. And trust me, you will now start to be more energetic throughout the day. It won't be that thing that you just focus on something, because when you're physically unfit, it's even gonna affect your concentration span. So it's gonna be a thing that you can't really focus on something for long. The only thing that you can focus on is scrolling through your phone, because trust me, guilty. So that's why I suggest that moving your body clears your mind. It makes you more energized, and the more energized you are, the happier you are, the more you get things done. All right, so it's very, very important, you guys, to get that exercise in. So moving on to our fourth tip. So now this tip is very, very important, and it's how can I say, the diamond of the show, in a way, of why I did this video. The fourth tip is to revisit your vision board. All right, so before we go anywhere else, I know that many of us do not have a vision board, right? We do not make a vision board beginning of the year. We do not have any New Year's resolutions. We just jumped into the new year and continued with our lives. Or we did have goals, but not written anywhere, not structured, not something serious, just like this year I want a car, right? Just that thing that it's a new year, you're thinking of new things, but nothing too deep like a vision board, right? And if you are one of those people, it is absolutely okay, because it's not too late. You can still fix your life. You can still make the life that you want, because trust me, 6 months is enough to change your life. So a vision board, if you do not have it, so you can start and have one now, and you can incorporate those goals that you started the year with, and the ones that you have picked up or you thought of recently, and incorporate that into your vision board so that you have more direction. Because a vision board is something that you can keep on your phone, but I'd suggest like a physical one where it's literally papers. You can see it there, probably at your door or wherever, where that you won't miss it around your house, right? So have it there so that it's a daily reminder of why you're living, of the goals that you want to reach, of that when you get discouraged, when you get demotivated, and you just look at that vision board and remember your goals and the reasons why you want to achieve those things that you want to achieve. It gives you more enthusiasm and motivation to go after them, because sometimes it's not that we're demotivated or discouraged. Sometimes we just simply forgot, what our goals are, because there's no reminder, there's no anything, you miss it, because as people we go through a lot, so we turn to forget even our own goals, right? Which is why I'd suggest having a physical vision board, which is easy to make. Just find pictures, find an old magazine, cut pictures out of there, make your vision board, and trust me, that will lead you on the road that is very successful, right? And if you do have a vision board, or you do have those like New Year's resolutions, goals that you've written down somewhere beginning of the year, I suggest that you revisit that page or those goals or whatever to see, how far you've come, just like a progress check. Are you still on track with your goals? Are you still on track with the, how can I say, with the goals or the drive that you started the year with? Or have you outgrown those goals? Have you accomplished maybe, or come across maybe new ones? Or are you still, is it still a work in progress? Because some goals, it's not like you can achieve them overnight. So probably maybe you're halfway through achieving that goal, or you're still working on it, you're still saving up for it, you're still studying for it, whichever one it might be. Because with your vision board, literally all the aspects of your life are included there: mental health goals, career goals, academic goals, relationship goals, friendship goals, anything goals that you can think of, you need to incorporate there, because that is your life, right? So revisiting and seeing how far am I, or have I even started yet on some or on some of the goals that I had there, right? So yeah, I believe that is very, very important. So you need to visit your vision board and start working on yourself. Okay, now let's get into the fifth tip of the day, which is analyze your relationships, right? And by relationships, I mean romantic relationships, friendships, and family ships, So you need to analyze those relationships, because they are a big part of your life, right? Your friends are a big part of your life. They literally know, deep secrets about you. Your family knows the things that you yourself don't even know, right? Your partner knows a lot of things about you, right? So I believe that this is very important. This is a very important part of the reset, because like literally these people are your life, right? And probably wondering why you need to analyze them. Sometimes these relationships can hold us back, can delay us, or can 100% prevent us or stop us from achieving the goals that we have set for ourselves, or from achieving the goals that God has for us, right? So which is why I believe that it's very important to analyze these relationships, right? Starting with friendships, right? Some of us, or some of you guys, are stuck in toxic friendships, and this, that this friend is toxic. All they do is influence you to do bad things, right? This friend is literally not pouring anything into you. You're the one that's pouring out. You're the only one that's keeping communication. You're the only ones that's making plans. You're the only one. So that you are the only one that's literally carrying this friendship. You're the only one that's putting the effort, right? Or even if it's not that, this friend, literally there's no direction whatsoever. Because guys, I believe that we are grown, we are getting old. There is no use to being in friendships that literally is just all about fun and games. We're not talking anything goals, personal growth. We're not talking anything faith. You're not growing into your faith with God, because if you are on this channel, that I am a big advocate for faith growth. Invest in your faith, invest in your relationship with God, because I believe that's the foundation of anything good in your life, right? So if you know that God is not the foundation of that friendship, why are you still stuck there? If that friend is not encouraging you to be the best version of yourself that God has called you to be, why are you still calling that person a friend? All they do is to be in competition with you. All they do is to hold you down. They never encourage you to do anything that you suggest to them. They feel like you won't succeed, or you're way in over your head, or when you try to talk about important things, it's like, what are we doing? Or they don't really take you that serious. They only take you serious when it's fun and games, or only when it's about them. But when it's time to show up for you, they're not doing that, right? So you need to analyze that type of friendship and make a decision that, is that the kind of friendship that you want to finish the year with? Is that the type of friendship that you want to start 2024 with? Or are you going to stop now and cut ties or distance yourself from that toxicity? Because only you can make that choice, and you'll make it by analyzing it, right? And trust me, I know that there are people that are in very good friendships. Even I myself, there are some very good friends, and those that were not good for me, or rather beneficial for me at this season of my life, I distance myself, or others, even they themselves, distance myself from me. So it's not even an offense to anyone, but there is that time in life where you need to let go of certain people and forge your own way through life, or find new people that will be beneficial and vital in that season of your life, right? So which also leads me to now relationships. Some of you guys are in relationships that are very, very toxic, and this, and you're still stuck there, and you need to really think about your future. You need to really think about the damage that this person or that relationship is doing to your mental health. Do you really want to stay in a relationship or with a partner that constantly he is unfaithful, or he or she is unfaithful to you? This person is always manipulating you, gaslighting you. This person literally has no benefit whatsoever in your life. You're just stuck there because I love them, right? And guys, even I myself, I was once in those type of relationships where you just like, I love this person and whatnot, what am I gonna do without them and whatnot. One thing that I can tell you is that you're not gonna die, and once you've gotten out of it and you've healed and went through the stage of healing and everything, you're gonna wake up and realize and see how much time you've wasted, how much of your goodness that you could have put into something else, into yourself, how much of you or of the goodness of the world around us that you've been missing just by being stuck with that person, right? So one thing that I can tell you, that whenever you think of making an excuse for someone, people are always well aware of what they're doing. No one is ever confused. No one is just, when someone is toxic to you, when someone is not good to you, your partner is not good to you, they're not lost. They're very much aware that they are doing that to you, and they do want to do it, because if you want to do something differently and you want to treat your partner right, you will do exactly that. But if you don't take them serious, you don't respect them, you don't respect their boundaries, you don't respect the words that you said to them in the beginning, you don't respect your relationship as a whole, it will show in your actions, with how you speak with that person, with your overall treatment to that person, right? So I know some of you guys are listening to this, you are probably the toxic one, right? So I'd suggest that in that, I believe that there are very core or underlying issues that causes a person to be, toxic, or to be just a bad person, particularly in a relationship, be it because of the past relationships or what your ex did, now you're gonna do it to the other person, or be it how you grew up. So sometimes be it, childhood trauma that you faced yourself, sometimes be it, what the kind of relationship that your parents have, maybe you do not know better, right? And you saw abuse in the house, or maybe you saw a toxicity in the house. Now you carrying that into your relationships. So when I say analyze, I'm not just saying for the people that are being wronged, only the victims. I'm not talking to only victims, but I'm talking even to the ones that are incorporating or are the ones that are wronging others. You need to analyze yourself and see, where is this toxicity coming from? Why can't I be faithful to my partner? Why can't I love them? Why can't I be supportive of them? Why can I not communicate well? You need to analyze those things, and you need to come to a place where you will leave that person in peace, to be able to work within yourself and fix those issues before you enter into another relationship, right? So I believe it's very, very important as people to analyze ourselves, our behaviors, our bad habits, our weaknesses, our strengths, just overall our how we are as people, not only for our sakes, but for the sakes of those around us, and for the sakes of our loved ones. All right, so please guys, just do that. This is also very, very important. And also when it comes to family, right, some people are in a very, very bad environment at home with their family. Things aren't good, the communication, the treatment, everything is not good. Like you don't feel like maybe you're being provided for, you don't feel like your needs are being taken care of, you don't feel like your family respects your boundaries, or they are sensitive to you, that they are not just like there for you the way that you deserve. Or sometimes it's just abuse in the house, you're being abused either psychologically, physically, in any kind of way, because it does happen in households with families that parents or siblings or whomever can treat each other so badly, right? So if you are in that situation, you also need to analyze it, and you can't be stuck there, because some people end up even committing suicide, or other people end up finding other different coping mechanisms to help them cope with that, because toxicity in families is real, and it's way deeper than any other toxicity that you can face with friends, with a partner, with anything, because these are the people that you share a DNA with, right? So it hits deeper than any other type of toxicity, which is why this is the important part, to analyze it. And there are ways to go about it. There are means that you can go the legal route. You can talk to them, talk to a family member or a relative or the elder in your family, in your clan, or whatever, that to intervene in the situation and whatnot, with whomever that's troubling you, or that's like you feel like this person is abusing you or causing trauma to you, right? So, and sometimes you might be the one that is like incorporating the trauma or the abuse. Maybe you're the parent that does not provide for the child. Maybe you are the child that is causing trauma to the parent, because now we're analyzing both sides, the victim and the, what can I say, perpetrator. I don't know, like what's the opposite of victim? That maybe you are the one that's like causing the pain, causing the trauma and everything. You need to also analyze yourself, and you need to change, because family is very important, and you don't want to be one day the cause of your child's suicide, the cause of your parents sickness or illness, or your parent passed out because you're troubling them, you don't listen to them, or you're doing things that you know will hurt them. So, or siblings, because there can also be that sibling, fights that are quite deep and quite heated, right? Do you want to be the cause of your brothers or sisters, trauma and, psychological, depression and anxiety? You don't want to be that. You want to love them. God, put you guys together as a family, not by mistake. He knew that you can overcome challenges, trials, and tribulations together. So you need to stick together as a family and show each other love and support and be there for one another through whatever that lives throws at you. So it's very, very important to analyze our family ships and find solutions to the problems that we have, right? And if maybe you've tried everything, I'd also suggest that give it to God. Give it to God. That's the best advice that I can give you. Give it to God. Pray about it. He might not answer you immediately, but he will, and he will compensate you for your suffering, and he will heal you one day. So that is what I'm praying upon you. That is, in any toxic relationship, familyship, friendship, I'm speaking blessing and healing over your life. Okay, now let's get into the 6th tip of the day. So now this one is where now you start doing the work, and it is start working on at least 3 goals, right? So now that you've revisited your vision board, now that you are in tune with what your goals were or what your new goals are, now it's time to start working on them, because trust me, no one is going to do that for you. Only you can show up for yourself the best way anyone can show up for you, right? So now it's where you start working on your goals. Now it's when you pick 3 out of the goals, right? So now these goals can either be mental health growth, it can be career, academics, anything that you think that it's important. It can be the least of your priorities, it can be at the top of the list of your priorities. You will choose according to your capability, and obviously sometimes we won't just start with like big goals immediately, that hey, this and that. You need to ease yourself into it, especially if you haven't done that from the beginning of the year, right? So you can still work on those goals. It can be the smallest thing, like I want to wake up earlier, right? I want to start exercising more. I want to start being nicer to people, because some people are mean out there. So if that's something you want to work on, I want to be a nicer person. I want to work on my short temper. I remember I was telling my friend a few weeks ago, I was like, friend, I want to work on my short temper, because sometimes I get easily irritable, all right? And so far so good, like if I may say so myself. So far so good. I made it a mission that I'm not going to be easily irritable. That's not the type of trait or characteristic that I want to carry into the new year or grow with, right? I need to be calm, collected. I need to be understanding and calmer, right? So it can be something like that. You can work on the trait or bad habit that you have that doesn't sit well with you, and you want to change it, become the best version that God has called you to be, right? So start on working on those 3 goals from this week, or from whenever you're going to be listening to this video, which I hope is soon, and start working on those goals and pace yourself. And from there you will go about even the other goals on your vision board. Now you can be able to pace yourself, and you will see that growth. When you are consistent and committed and determined, trust me, you will see the results, other than when things are just in your head, right? Because I believe that we struggle with that a lot, having goals in our head but never acting on them or living them, or they never manifest into the flesh, all right? They're just stuck in our heads. So now release those good ideas, that business idea, whatever, let it loose, do it, Even if you're gonna fail, don't worry about what people are gonna say. People are always gonna have something to say forever. Whether you do good, whether you do bad, whether you become a millionaire, billionaire, whether you are the poorest man or woman on earth, people will always have something to talk about, right? So are you gonna stay there and listen to the naysayers that aren't doing anything with their lives, or are you gonna work and show up for yourself, right? Even if you fail, it's fine. You're not gonna die. You can still try again. And when you are consistent with trying again and you have that courage, trust me, whatever goal that you have, you will achieve it. You will achieve it. And know that if God is for you, no one, absolutely zero, zilch, no one can be against you, right? And sometimes we're the ones that are against ourselves. We have such a great support system. People are pushing us and whatnot, but we're not listening to them. We're just always doubting and making excuses. Now it's time to outgrow that and start working on you, working on those goals. Go get it. And I'm here for it, and I'm praying for you, and I believe that you will have that courage and confidence in yourself. Okay, now moving into the last tip of the day, which is invest into your future self. Right now, this is we're talking big things now. We're talking big things, that investing in your future self might seem like saving up to buy that house, that apartment, that car. I'm investing into your academics, that I want to get that cum laude so that I get a better job one day, or I graduate with good marks, whatever it is, right? So you need to now invest into your future self. And this can also be with mental goals, right? Are you a person that is always procrastinating, that is always lazy, fatigued? And I know we always post this, if anything, I'm so lazy. If anything, I don't know. And life and death lies in our tongues. Sometimes we're surprised why do we keep doing one thing over and over again, or we can't break out from certain patterns. It's because we're saying it when we're so comfortable in something that is bad. Laziness is bad. Procrastinating is bad, right? Because procrastinating will hold you back from the millions that you want to achieve, will hold you back from that financial freedom that you're looking for, right? Laziness will literally, life will pass you by and you'll be sitting there lost into your own life, right? So I encourage you, laziness or not, don't even attach it to your identity. If anything, I'm lazy. If anything, I'm this and that. No, you're not that. Start speaking differently. Start speaking life into your life, and you will see your life really doing what life is supposed to be doing, if you get what I mean. All right, so start working on yourself. Start working and investing into yourself, that I'm not going to be lazy anymore. If I have assignments, I will finish them way before the deadline. If there's a program or whatever at work, I will submit it, and it will be done to the T, and I will give my all to it, right? If I have a goal, business idea, or I have a business, I want to grow it, do that, grow that business and make it successful, right? Make it to be a successful business, right? Whatever it is that you're doing, invest into your future self. Because if you're waiting that maybe when I'm older, that's when I'll be serious about life, maybe when I have kids, maybe when I'm married, when I have a wife one day, that's when I'll start working, or when I'm in a relationship, or when I want to pay for the bride price, that's when I'll start saving up and whatnot. Start now. Invest into your future self now. Invest into your children's future now. Invest into your marriage now. That house that you want is not just gonna happen unless you're a transplant baby, then good for you. But if you're not, no one is gonna come and drop millions on your lap. Only you can do that for yourself, right? So you need to show up for yourself and invest into your future self. And if you don't have maybe those big goals that will be an investment to your future self, start working on them now. Think of something now. Be creative. Pray to God. Trust me. If anything, if God is for you, or if God is in it, there's just no way it's going to fail, right? So talk to God about it, that God, I want to have goals, I want to have dreams, but I need you to guide me, show me the direction on how to go about 1 2 3, or how to even, what are those goals, what is, you know, the purpose of my life, why did you create me, what is my passion, what is, you know, something that I'm ambitious about, you know, I have passion about, it has always been my dream, and this and that, right? So now we're talking something big. You need to invest into your future self. There's a saying that deny yourself of the current pleasures for the future rewards, right? So sometimes those things are going to be very uncomfortable. Some people you're going to have to lose if you want to do those things. You're gonna have to cut ties. You're gonna have to now deny yourself of the constant going out, the constant scrolling on social media aimlessly, the constant whatever that you're doing that's not beneficial for you. You know, now it's time to get out of your comfort zone and get, you know, running and get, you know, that motivation and courage in to go after your dreams and to invest into your future self. That 5+ years or 5 years or 2 years or 3 years, you will look back and be like, wow, you did that for me. Thank you for sacrificing 1 2 3 so that I can live comfortably today, so that I can have this house, so that I can have, you know, these good relationships around me, so that I can have 1 2 3, because you denied yourself, you know, the current pleasures of the now, so that the future you will be comfortable, the future you will be happy and live a comfortable life, right? So the procrastinating, the laziness, always fatigued, sluggish, dirty environment, the room is always dirty, the house is always dirty, you have no direction, the type of friends that you are, they not make sure, like, it's just like there's just no sense whatsoever, there's just no direction or structure whatsoever. Only you can, you know, make that, you know, decision to be like, this is not going to be my life, this is not going to be my 2024, 2025, 2026, that's not going to be me. I'm going to make a decision to change and to show up for myself. I'm going to make a decision to, you know, cut off, you know, any kind of toxicity, cut off those people that are delaying me or preventing me from being the best version that God has called me to be, right? So you need to make that decision. Now, to close this off, I really thank you for watching this video up until this far, and you know, I really pray and hope that these tips will help you to change your life. It will help you to improve the quality of your life, but most importantly, that it will draw you closer to God and, you know, growth in your faith. Because even for me, growth in my faith just was contagious to all the other aspects of my life, and I started seeing growth there. So which is why I believe that it's very, very important to have God as the foundation and your relationship and faith to be, you know, strengthened. You will see all the other aspects of your life changing for the better too. All right, so thank you so much for watching, Bloomies. I will see you in the next video. Stay blessed.